Everyone's heard of the Netziv, Reb Naftali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, their famous Rosh Yeshiva in Volozhin. And the Netziv wrote many different incredibly important Sfarim, incredibly important books that have served as pillars of light in our Jewish tradition. Everyone knows, though, that the Sefer Ha'emek Davar, his Perush on the Chumash, on the Torah, and there's also on the Navi, on the prophets, that was his most favorite composition. And when it came out, he made a very big feast. And during the feast, the Netziv shared the following story that he kind of felt was waiting to be told for many, many years. Well, the Netziv, when he was a young boy, his father was a very poor tailor. And the father cared so much for all the needs of the family, and he worked so hard. Life was such a tremendous struggle. And in order to make sure that he provided his son with some type of profession, he also instilled within his son, the Netziv, little Naftali Tzvi Yehuda, the profession of being a tailor. But one day, the Netziv left tailorhood, he left learning being a tailor, and he found himself in a yeshiva. And he set his eyes on that dream of becoming a lamdan, becoming a learner. But at this famous Seuda, where they celebrated the release of the Emek Davar, he shared that what led him to leave the profession of being a tailor and become a Talmid Chacham was that he had a dream when he was a little kid. He had a dream that after 120 years, he was brought to Gan Eden. He was a tailor his whole life in this dream, and he was brought to Gan Eden, and right before he reached Gan Eden, they said, 1 second, let's just make a left, and they showed him something. They showed him stacks and stacks and stacks of paper and a quilt. And he asked, what's this? And they said to him, well, all these stacks of paper, these are all the Sfarim you could have filled the world with if you would have chosen Talmud Torah. You could have brought such a shine to your people if this would have been your chelik and what you would have chosen. And he woke up in such a frenzy. And he decided from that day on, if I can do that for Am Yisrael, it'll probably be much more important than me continuing the tradition of being a tailor. And this is the story that he shared at this famous Seuda that he did when he put out this Sefer Emek Davar. So I don't know how many of us have these dreams where they show us what we could be, but I give us all a bracha that if we ever do get a glimpse of what we could do for Am Yisrael, that should always be the direction we choose.